It is insane to me how deep someone can be in the rap game and while still sounding as fresh as this album does. Welcome to A Renan Does Music, where today we're checking out the 14th, you heard me, 14th mixtape from American rapper Chris Webby called Still Wednesday. This guy is someone I've listened to off and on when it came to the releases they had on Spotify, mostly in part due to the pushing from my friend Al telling me, hey, yeah, listen to this guy, he's a rapper who I think you'll love. And I was like, no, back in the day, I fucking hate rap. I'm a pop punk kid. I had no fucking semblance of difference in my Spotify discography. And I checked him out, and lo and behold, it was actually pretty good. Also, lo and behold, we're gonna fix the lighting so I'm not pale as fuck. This guy's a music making machine with 18 total releases as far as I'm aware ever since 2009. Possibly more given how the rap game often leads to people releasing so much music that some of it gets lost when it comes to streaming services and just overall online information. This new album seems to be one of the biggest things he's ever done so far though, however. With 13 whole features, 7 songs featuring just him, and these aren't just random names either. We have heavy hitters going right along this fellow heavy hitter in the rap scene, so I'll start talking about it by talking about the biggest, possibly the biggest feature here on the album. Let's talk about motherfucking DMX. DMX comes in on the album's second track called We Up. And this track has an overall very classic vibe to it, from the beat to the rapping itself, with DMX serving something that would sound perfectly at home on an album like Grand Champ. It's typical big dog shit, talking about status, credibility, and the like. Which, in and by itself, you just rapping about that sort of thing, we've heard it 1,000 times. There's nothing special by itself. But when you put that sort of attitude from DMX and put it right up against the always underdog yet still always champion attitude that Chris Webby puts on display, it's a great meeting of the minds here. While DMX puts the classic vibe on things, there's a lot of modern influence too, especially with the rapper Young Ma, or Young M.A., I've heard it both ways, coming in on another track here. The song Whipping gives us the same type of energy that DMX had to offer, with a different source and a different voice, and this song has a great switch up in it that is just pure art to listen to. Webby even goes from arguably a sort of like subdued kind of tone to a more in-your-face, more powerful sort of being and presence here on this rap track. The ferocity and tone that he puts on display is right up against Young Ma. It's matching them. It puts both rappers on even ground, with some nice wordplay at hand to boot. Don't think to yourself that, oh, okay, so every collaboration sounds like the DMX feature or the Young Ma feature, because there's a lot of unique sounds to be heard, especially in the collaborative department. And just to give an example of that, we're going to talk about the song Go. Oh, sorry. The song's actually called Go, because it has an exclamation point. The beat behind it is overly unique and actually made me really go back to it, because a lot of times my biggest issue with rap is I think, oh, every instrumental track, every backing track sounds the same. This is one of those songs I go to and it's like, okay, something different, let's fucking go. I was honestly pretty surprised but welcoming in the fact that Chris kind of takes more of a back seat on this track in comparison to the other contributions that people like that Annoyed and Jitta give us. There's plenty of references, tongue-in-cheek moments, and even a self-aware moment where he says he's got a what the fuck's it called? Thesaurus open and ready on tap to come at you with more hard-hitting lines. Overall, I feel like this album, whether it's a collaboration or a song purely with Chris Webby on it, is one of those unique albums in the sense that it goes out of its way to sound different without taking the influence from another genre or just another overall thought space and headspace to make its point. Like, this is purely a rap album in every sense of the word. It doesn't go into some recent examples. It isn't like Machine Gun Kelly putting rap songs on a pop punk album trying to say, oh yeah, this is me putting some flavor on it. This isn't a rapper introducing rock type elements to sort of like bring the focus up. This is Chris Webby taking every part of his being, every part of his past discography, and putting his all into this album. It's creating an overall purely rap but purely unique album as a whole. It's no secret that Chris Webby is a man with many thoughts and opinions, some that may even get him in trouble with certain crowds, but I think it's on the track Raw Thoughts 5. I feel he really just goes ballistic and unrelenting, going for brutal truths and a genuine call-outs all throughout the whole 7 minutes of this song. I could sit here on this review and debate my own self-opinions on these things that he's talking about and be like, oh, I agree with this, I don't agree with that. But I'm here to analyze the music side of things and how it comes across in terms of enjoyability and give it proper critical analysis. I'm not here to play, that's not what I agree with. I can say for sure that this mops the floor with other woke rapper wannabes who try to say like, yeah man, these are my unfiltered thoughts, I'm built different, I'm just saying the things that people are too afraid to say. This takes that sort of mentality throws it in the bucket and says, no, that's kind of fucking shitty. Let me show you how a real rapper does this. And there are hundreds of those types of rappers, whether they're big in the scene or not even in the scene at all. They're just performing at local comedy clubs. So many people try to do the whole fuck this thing or fuck that thing. I'm different. I'm real. Webby doesn't do that. He just says, look, this is what I think. You're gonna listen to it because it's catchy as fuck. And with this iteration of Raw Thoughts, it's not just Webby going against one or two like small little things, talking about them briefly. It's Webby versus everybody. In true Webster fashion, I think he puts it best himself in the second verse with this set of lines. So someone had to come and rock the boat and say shit that even Tom McDonald won't, and I'm just one guy with the balls to say what I see, even if I sound awful ways. Like I said a little bit when I touched on the intro to this, talking about this part of the song, Chris Webby is a person who has his middle finger up at all times saying, hey, this is what I think, this is who I am, you're just gonna deal with it, this is how I'm unfiltered. I'm going against the grain. A truly genuine, again, catchy. I can't understate the fact that this guy is a catchy fucking rapper with good music, not just somebody putting out lines that rhyme and sound good on the surface. But even with one hand having the middle finger up, the other hand, he's got his hand out. He's offering a handshake. Because as outspoken as he is, as a person, as a rapper, as a personality, he's not trying to drag people down for their views. He's just dragging down the shitty parts of people's views, if that makes sense. He says all these things, throws all these hot takes out, but still throws out other lines like, disagree with my views, that's all fine. I respect you for yours, respect me for mine. That says it all right there. It says everything you need to know about how he goes about things. I feel like this song, despite the possible flammability of the verses at hand, perfectly encapsulates what Chris Webby and who he is as a rapper is in great fashion. While it may only be for less than half of the album, in fact, that Chris puts the spotlight solely on himself alone, every time it's just him at the mic, he knocks it out of the park like Babe Ruth hitting a dinger back in the day. I could pick out any of these songs to highlight, but I really want to hit on the last song, Way Home. Not only does this wrap things up in a very, finite way, but it feels like a true end of a play, an end of a journey, and an end of the story that's been told throughout several different songs, many songs here on the album. The start of the track gives you a sense of closure in piano form, and the rest of the song feels like the soundtrack to a Broadway play. Again, just feeling like the perfect coming to an end story. There's no real way to describe this song. This is a song, I say this a lot of times on my channel, I'm gonna keep fucking saying it. This is a song where you need to listen to it to fully get the vibes, fully get the feeling, fully get the understanding. You can spend an entire album with him talking about his highs, his lows, and the in-betweens, and when he's sitting there with the final song hitting you, it's a message of him pursuing his dream, keeping it real, and it's just a grounding experience hearing this song after all the songs that are before on the album. This is without a doubt someone I wish I could have hopped on the train for way back in the day one if possible, but there's so many people like that. There's so many regrets I have within the music scene, despite the genre, but I'm glad that I'm here now at the very least, because this is solid music. This album serves as one of, if not the easiest album to use to get into Chris Webby. If you're new to him, or you're not sure on him, or maybe you heard a couple songs and you're like, yeah, maybe this isn't it, this is the album to come to or come back to. It's a good representation of his album's structures, general flow, while also serving its own place within his discography. A discography of many, many releases, as I said earlier, but this still stands out as truly, once again, using a word again, unique. Seems like a glass ceiling doesn't even exist for Chris Webby, and it feels like the sky's the limit, but the sky's way fucking up there. We got nothing but upwards momentum here, and it's for that reason, the reasons I've talked about above, that Chris Webby's album Still Wednesday gets a 7.8 out of 10. And that's a review. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. Are you a Chris Webby fan? Have you never heard of the fucking guy? Who's your favorite rapper? Fuck it. How's your day? Please comment. I'm desperate. Not for real though. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you guys are having a good day. Hope you're staying hydrated. And I hope I see you next time. See ya.